Army Specialized Force and Army fitness centers were established to complement training of personnel. Specialized equipment training was also conducted for the increased number of platforms acquired by the services and parastatals. Several resource centers and research institutions were also established to further improve the research and learning amongst personnel. The foreign assistance from the British Military Assistance Training Team and the German Training Assistance Group continued to support the training of our personnel. It prevents retired personnel from using their service knowledge in ventures that could be detrimental to the security of the nation. The President approved the sum of 134.7 billion naira on Security Department allowance in May 2022 for payment to beneficiaries. Next is the Group Life Assurance. The Group Life Assurance policy, the Ministry has continued to facilitate the administration of the Group Life Assurance Scheme for members of the armed forces. This to ensure that the immediate families of the members of the armed forces are adequately catered for in the event of death while discharging their constitutional responsibilities. The administration granted approval for the requisite funds for the payment throughout. The payment of benefits of families of Charlie 130, Ejibo crash of 1992. Payments of outstanding entitlements of most of the widows of the victims of the Charlie 130 military Hercules aircraft that crashed in Ejebo near Lagos over 30 years ago, mainly September 92, has been affected. The armed forces approved the enactment of death on active service clause for all serving armed forces personnel. This enactment automatically entitles dependents who died in service before their retirement to benefit from free medical services and draw armed forces educational sponsorship up to university level, among other benefits. The payment of areas of minimum wage. The Ministry, on behalf of the federal government, paid the outstanding areas of minimum wage increment owed to us by the previous administration. Then the Immigration or Defense Health Maintenance Limited. The Defense Maintenance Limited was invigorated to ensure that service and retired armed forces personnel and their dependents have access to health care through a regular disbursement of funds to all health care facilities of the armed forces and civilian hospitals across the nation. With the inclusion of the armed forces in the scheme, civil medical health care facilities accredited by the insurance companies also receive funds from the Defense Health Maintenance Limited to cater for health care needs of the retired personnel in their environment. Thus, there has been a marked increase in the number of military retirees assessing the health insurance scheme with Defense Health Maintenance Limited. This is a result of a continuous education and enlightenment programs by both Defense Health Maintenance Headquarters and the various states offices. Gentlemen are almost there. Now, interagency synergy, ineffective civil-military relationship, and budgetary constraints. Let me start with overstretched deployment of the armed forces. The forces is overstretched in manpower and equipment, and they are deployed to all internal security operations across the country. The armed forces' involvement in all IS operations is because, in most cases, the first and second lines of defense of the country, i.e. Nigerian Police Force and Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, lack the requisite capabilities to effectively discharge that responsibility. The armed forces thus deploy all over the country, performing the roles that are primarily for other security agencies. Troops are currently deployed in different theaters of performing such roles as roadblocks, security of infrastructure, the guard duties of VIPs, etc. This is in addition to their other commitments in counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency, and United Nations operations. There is need to enhance the capabilities of Nigerian police and other security agencies to meet the demands of their primary mandate, so as to free the armed forces from continuous engagement in internal security operations. The next is inadequate manpower. The ministry contends with inadequate manpower in the armed forces as a major challenge to fulfilling its mandate. As at 2022, Nigeria, with an estimated population of over 200 million, has a total military strength of about 223,000 personnel, representing a ratio of 1 soldier to 1,000 men or Nigerians. This is grossly inadequate considering the multi-security threats affecting the country. The population to military ratio of Nigeria is lower than those of African countries. For instance, the Republic of Chad has a ratio of 4 soldiers to 1,000. In South Africa, 5 soldiers to 1,000. The recent approval for the increase in the recruitment in personnel in the armed forces boosted the manpower strength, but there is need for sustenance of the recruitment drive to increase the ratio. Next, lack of internal agency synergy. The operation of the armed forces and other parastatals of the ministries are affected by interagency and interministerial rivalry. Ministries, departments, and agencies have been noted to compete to emerge as the most favorite or the most effective in discharging their responsibilities. They battle each other for access to assess superiority and dominance. This constitutes a major threat to internal security and national cohesion. It also accounts for budgetary waste, or wastages, duplication of functions, mutual suspicion, and encroachment of each other's constitutional mandate. The ministry is thus making concerted efforts to strengthen interagency cooperation and collaboration, operational effectiveness of the armed forces. The next is ineffective civil-military relationship. The armed forces faces suspicion and distrust from members of public and other key stakeholders during IS operation. This is attributed to poor public perception of the considerable efforts to overturn, to change the narrative through civil-military relations. A civil security coordination framework was introduced in November 2019 to coordinate civil-military activities between the armed forces and other civilian stakeholders. One of the fallout was the setting up of the National Humanitarian Coordination Committee. However, it has not addressed the root cause of the poor relationship between the armed forces and key civilian stakeholders, especially the non-governmental organizations having divergent objectives between them. Effort is being made to address the challenges. Lastly, we have budgetary constraints. The Ministry of Defense, like other MDs, is placed on envelope system of budgeting in which a fixed amount is appropriated annually. This is irrespective of the increased requirement of the ministry in the face of expanding defense and security threats. The system limits the allocation to the ministry and has hampered the acquisition of essential platforms, equipment, and logistics required to boost operations in the defense sector. It has also limited recruitment and essential training programs in the ministry. There is need for a review of the budgeting system of the Ministry of Defense in line with the current security situation in the country. Gentlemen, having highlighted the ministry achievement, operation program, and challenges, let us look at the future projection of the ministry. The ministry, despite the achievement during the period under review, is still pushing on leaps and bounds to improve the defense architecture of the country. Some of the future projections of the ministry includes consistent recruitment of about 19,000 soldiers, ratings, and airmen every year to ensure the capabilities of the armed forces to meet the security challenges in the country. We need expansion of military industrial complex. We need establishment of an aviation technology city. The project on completion would include an aircraft manufacturing plant, maintenance repair organization, and an armed aerial vehicle production center, amongst others. The world-class quaternary hospital in Nigeria, similar to the Walter Reed Hospital, in the United States of America. E, establishment of Education Management Information System in the Ministry of Defense and the Armed Forces schools. And lastly, implementation of Global Safe School. The ministry under President Muhammad Buhari administration improved the security hitherto adversely insecure region of the country at the onset of the administration in 2015. This was achieved within the country and improved internal security. The ministry also sector, through its maritime efforts, has also improved security in the Gulf of Guinea by drastically reducing piracy and sea robbery. These efforts led to the delisting of Nigeria on the list of piracy-prone countries by International Maritime Bureau in March 2022. The ministry also enhanced the armed forces capacity through reforms and restructuring, including establishing new headquarters, new commands and operational bases, as well as increase in the number of personnel recruited into the armed forces. Furthermore, arms and ammunition, as well as sophisticated platforms, were acquired for the armed forces to enhance their operational capabilities. Previously, grounded platforms were also reactivated to upscale the armed forces capabilities. In addition, the armed forces successfully conducted multiple in-country periodic depot maintenance and the avionics upgrade of some of its air assets. The recent in-country periodic depot maintenance of Charlie 130 aircraft had enhanced the logistic capacity and capability of the armed forces to support the distribution of election materials for the forthcoming general election. Lastly, the launch of Delta Sat-1 has given Nigeria an eye in the space and will provide periodic imagery and intelligence that will enhance the operational competencies of the armed forces